Tonight we begin with a threat Western intelligence had anticipated and feared. A nuclear warning that unfolded not over weeks, but in hours. Hours that shook capitals across Europe. Hours that sent defense ministers scrambling for secure lines. What Vladimir Putin did today crossed a line NATO officials hoped would hold. And when that line broke, Ukraine responded with precision, defiance, and a message of their own. For months, there had been signals, not official statements, just signals that Putin was preparing something unprecedented. Putin has been aggressive, yes, but calculated. His moves have followed a certain logic, a choreography. But this week, that choreography went silent. Analysts who monitor Russian military communications know the indicators. Movement of mobile missile launchers, rotation of strategic bomber crews, encrypted traffic between command posts. All of it went quiet. And whenever Putin goes quiet, something is about to get loud. Early this morning, Pentagon officials detected elevated nuclear force readiness postures, strategic assets that hadn't been activated in 18 months. These are signals Russia only sends when communicating something specific: deterrence, coercion, or preparation. The Kremlin statement tonight was not routine. It was urgent. Russian officials described the West's weapons delivery as provocative, escalatory, and deserving of a nuclear response if Russian territory is targeted. But nuclear threats only work if the target hesitates. Ukraine did not. Within hours of Putin's statement, Ukraine launched multiple precision strikes using newly delivered American weapon systems. Deep strikes into Russian-controlled territory. Ukrainian military sources confirm strikes on logistics hubs, including a command center reinforced for a planned winter offensive. They hit ammunition depots, fuel storage, and communication nodes. Ukraine targeted the nervous system of Russia's war machine. They didn't target cities or civilian infrastructure. They hit military targets and command structures, strategically, not recklessly. Western analysts believe Putin's threat was designed to test the Biden administration's resolve after months of political uncertainty. Putin wanted to see if the White House would waver, if NATO would splinter. The opposite happened. The Pentagon issued a statement so direct that even the Kremlin noticed. Defense officials described Putin's shift as coercive signaling, designed to create hesitation. But Ukraine proved they remain capable and willing. Their strikes demonstrated real-time intelligence integration with Western partners. That shows Putin something he feared. Ukraine is fighting with the full backing of the most sophisticated military alliance in history. Throughout the evening, we learned more. Ukrainian ground forces carried out coordinated advances. Air defense units targeted drone swarms. Special operations forces disrupted supply routes behind enemy lines. This wasn't just retaliation. This was strategic initiative. The one thing Russia has struggled to maintain since the failed assault on Kyiv. Remember, Putin thought this war would last days. He thought Kyiv would fall before the world could respond. Tonight, Ukraine is negotiating from strength. The West is unified. Russia is isolated. What makes this dangerous is that Putin's threat comes when he's under extraordinary domestic pressure. Military hardliners want faster gains. Oligarchs want sanctions relief. The public wants the war to end. When leaders in that position make sudden moves, they're not doing it from strength. They're doing it from vulnerability. The White House statement said Putin's threat was inconsistent with responsible nuclear stewardship. That's diplomatic language for, we see what you're doing, and it won't work. President Zelensky addressed the nation tonight. We do not fear threats. We prepare for them. Every weapon delivered saves Ukrainian lives. We will not stop until every meter of our land is free. Putin's warning wasn't isolated. Russian state media amplified apocalyptic messaging. Belarus conducted exercises near the Polish border. Russian cyber units increased operations targeting NATO infrastructure. When Putin moves multiple pieces at once, something larger is underway. Intelligence analysts are considering several possibilities: a renewed offensive, an attempt to fracture Western unity before winter, or creating conditions for a frozen conflict on his terms. But today, Ukraine took that card off the table. They didn't pause, they didn't negotiate, they struck back. European defense officials say there's no indication of imminent launch preparation. Putin's moves appear designed to coerce, not attack, part of a pressure campaign to weaken Western support. But Ukraine is accelerating. Their response sent a message: intimidation will not work. What happens next depends on Moscow. If they escalate, this moment will be remembered as a turning point. If they retreat to rhetoric, Ukraine and NATO have shown they're prepared. Tonight, the Kremlin appears to be recalculating. Moscow is quiet. Too quiet. When Putin is quiet, he's choosing his next move carefully. Because tonight, Putin learns something he's learned before. Nuclear threats do not guarantee compliance. Western resolve has not collapsed, and Ukraine will not surrender. This story is far from over, but tonight, one thing is clear. Ukraine is still fighting. America is still delivering, and Putin's threats have failed to break the alliance.